We're Jess and Orion, this is Benji and Lily, and together we have been travelling and exploring all over the UK with our tent box. Join us every Wednesday and Sunday as we share our adventures. Hit subscribe to follow along and see where the road takes us. Hello and welcome to what I'm going to call the first of I have absolutely no idea what to film vlogs. I'm just kind of going with the flow, as I originally had a lot of plans and scheduling of what videos I wanted to make. But obviously now that I'm moving, it's kind of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. So join me as we kind of make it up as we go along. I will be sharing a sneak peek of the house I am moving to in this vlog a little bit later on. But I thought I would kind of showcase where things are at with the bungalow now, as progression has definitely come to a halt. And I'll begin with the garden. Yeah, the flower bed that we put in, it's starting to get some nettles coming around it, as well as this area here. Probably because I didn't actually put any weed barrier down below this. But you'll see a running theme here where things I've cleared out are starting to grow back and become overgrown again. This has been seeded. I'll be interested to see how it looks and if the seeds take, but I had a box of seeds and I did plan on making a garden video on like reseeding this grass that we obviously ripped out and cleared out. I just went over and just spread it like crazy and just fingers crossed it kind of grows back. You can see some grass coming through already. I don't think that's grass that seeds that I've put in. I think it's just coming through from before. But yeah, this area is again starting to grow back. I feel kind of bad because there is absolutely no motivation whatsoever to do anything here, purely because I'm moving out. So like, what's the point really? I do want to keep ever so slightly on top of things, because I don't want it to be completely unkept. As I notice a little butterfly, look, in Jess's flowers. Oh. But speaking of flowers, one of the comments I got on the moving out vlog update video thing was, oh, make sure you take the subscriber flower bed with you. Yeah, about that. Remember how this was all topsoil? Yeah, I am actually quite gobsmacked at how quickly it's just overgrown with weeds. In a blink of an eye, it seems, all of a sudden there's just weeds everywhere. So much so you can barely see the flowers that I planted. These ones have popped out quite nicely, which is lovely. I'm pretty sure they're Stargaming's flowers, but the other ones, however, not so great. Yeah, Stargaming. What I'm gonna do, as it seems a little mean to kind of remove all nice flowers from the gardens that we planted, I'm probably gonna take the labels with me, get new flowers and create a new subscriber bed at the next house. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. Maybe we'll have a look around later today when we go and explore the house. Well, not the house. I'm going to show the gardens and where the garage is and where I think I'm going to put my new office and workshop and stuff. But we're not going to take all the flowers because I think it's just a bit mean. If this is all kept on top of and this problem is solved in the corner, I reckon these flowers actually be lovely. A lot of them are starting to come through and look really nice. Look at that. Yeah, these are great. I don't really want to take them out, but Jess's planters that she made, I think she does want to bring with her. If not, taking them out of the planters and giving them a bit more room to grow, because I feel like there's not enough soil and compost in them. But right, that is the garden, getting a little bit overgrown. I do have some tools now that I can actually start doing some gardening stuff. So maybe we'll just do a maintenance vlog where I clean up the overgrowth as it is coming through thick and fast. Moving on to the next elephant in the room. This time I'm not messing around and I am packing things. I have a lot of, I think they're called very useful boxes, that I've just filled with things that we don't need right now and I can take with me. As you can even see in this one, it's a lot of stuff out of the boot room, which is like my DIY stuff. Like, I don't need PVA glue out. I'm never going to use it whilst I'm still here, so I might as well pack it so it's ready to go. The plan is, when I go show you later on down the garage and where we're moving to, I kind of want a rough idea, visualize it, where I'm going to store things, purely because we're going to have a lot of stuff to move, and we're going to be living at the house whilst we renovate it. So I don't really want to put loads of furniture in the house, and we have a perfectly good garage storage room to store a lot of things. So moving forwards, let me know in the comments down below. I won't do anything today, but let me know in the comments if you want to see me packing and moving things, because this, for example, Calyx unit, Benjamin's chest of drawers, a wardrobe, I'm going to attempt to flat pack it so it can be put away in the storage, and we'll live out boxes essentially. I've got a bunch of these, absolute bargain by the way. These are like a £5 at Tesco with the club card thing. Great 80-litre boxes. I'm going to use these clear boxes to basically put clothes in. So Benjamin, we can live out of boxes, and then it keeps it nice and tidy because they're in plastic boxes, not cardboard. I don't know, for some reason in my head I feel like having a plastic box to store clothes is just better than cardboard. And then all of the heavy duty stuff like is in the heavy, like really useful boxes. So yeah, that is the plan. If you want to see me do this, then let me know in the comments down below. If you don't comment and let me know, I will just do this off camera, because I don't really know if people want to watch that. I'm in such a torn place at the moment where I'm like, what content do I make? Because I had so many plans. Like, I've become so heavily invested into DIY renovation, gardening, like building things and projects, that my average day in the weekend isn't that interesting. For example, I'll roll some footage now. Me and Jess just went to our very first wedding venue tour, and we had a look at like a whole venue. It was like an old barn that they've converted and made look really nice. And we went with our friends, James and Chloe, and it was a lovely day out, but I didn't film anything. I shot some B-roll just to share it with you. Maybe I should share some of this stuff, and if you're interested, it was quite interesting. I saw some other people vlogging as well whilst I was there. James bumped into a fan, which was really nice. It wasn't like super wholesome. But yeah, I don't typically film that kind of stuff anymore. So let me know if you want to see tidy up vlogs and just my average day. I just don't think it's very interesting. I just don't think my life is that interesting. But when I take into context that I've moved 4 times, I'm building a campsite, and we have a huge farm with lots of content, maybe I should share more stuff. I don't know. I've got so much going on in my head at the moment. I'm just a bit unsure about what I should be doing. I'm trying my best here. So help me out and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. But there is a lot of stuff to do in this house. Sockets need to be removed. New wiring needs to go in, and the house needs to be saved from that. I have now met with professional plumbers and professional electricians who have come round and had a look at stuff that I've done, and actually are quite happy and impressed with things that I've done, which I'm well chuffed about. However, there are just a couple of things that, oh, there's a dove on top of my house. Sorry. There's quite a few things that I need to finish off. For example, a lot of people probably won't know this, but on a circuit for all the sockets you do, I've basically daisy chained it from one socket to the next socket to the next socket, and then in Benjamin's room, it's the final socket. However, the circuit that I've created, even though I did it like for like in the sense that I copied what the old wiring was and replaced it with new wiring, it's not like to regs anymore, because of things have changed since like the old wiring to new wiring and so on and so forth, and it needs to become, instead of like a big long chain, it needs to become a ring. So I'm going to need to put like new wiring in so it can go all the way back to the fuse board, and there's like little details like that I didn't necessarily know when I did this. Fortunately, I was good with like cable zones and things along those lines, but there is other work. Sorry, something just flew past my head. There is other work that needs to be completed. Again, I'm going to be in quite a rush to do that before we move out, because if anyone's had any experience with cutting walls, especially brick and plaster, it creates a crap ton of dust. And I can't obviously do that while we live here. It's not safe. And all our stuff will get absolutely coated. So there is a very small window between the time of moving out of here and into the new house where I need to do things like that. So yeah, again, I'm kind of using this a bit of a feedback vlog, because as I may have mentioned in the last vlog, I don't know if you've seen that one or where I am timeline wise, but I did talk about where to go moving forward with content, because not only as of September we'll be living in a new house, and don't get me wrong, there is loads to do, but I will also kind of be like full-time dad, quote unquote. Obviously I work from home all the time, every day of the week, and Jess needs to go back to work. So as of September, I will have a lot more dad duties, which is going to make it hard for me to film content consistently and keep up the 2 vlogs a week. I'm going to try my best, but I'm torn between consistency of continuing 2 vlogs a week and lowering the quality, or keeping like the big lots of different shots. Like if anyone watches my DIY videos, you'll know that I move the camera a lot and there's music and I film a lot of aspects of the things I do, whereas before it's easier just to throw a camera up and do a time lapse, for example. So there's like a choice really. Do I go down to 1 video a week and make much better quality videos, or do I keep up the 2 videos a week and you get to see more, but the quality isn't as good? So yeah, lots of questions for you to answer in the comments down below. I apologize for this being such a rambling video, but let's get in the car and give you a bit of a sneak peek as to where we're going. Welcome to our new home. Just have to film a little clip of the birds. It's so beautiful this time of year with all the birds tweeting and stuff. But where I'm standing right now is actually on the play set that we moved here probably last year actually now. The first thing I want to show you guys is actually the paddock that we're going to turn into like an adventure play area. Because from that tree there all the way along here to probably around this tree and that way, you can actually see just over there where that hedge line is actually the fence. Currently, obviously very overgrown, but we're going to kill all of this off and I'm going to build an adventure play area. It's going to be a while off, but this is what I envision this area to be. Reclaiming this paddock and turning it into like a kids play area for family to come around and our kids to play on, and it'll all be nice and fenced off and sectioned in there, rather than just being where I'm stood right now, which is kind of like a car park. But there will be a fence going from this corner all the way along there, and everything you see here is for us. Now we're not going to really do anything with this area, probably put some hardcore down there because this puddle has existed forever and it drives me up the wall. So we're probably just going to level this out a little bit, but this is where we'll park the cars. We are going to have a caravan to begin with, and the caravan will live probably here in front of the oil tank. But one thing I do want to do today is kind of walk and plot out where I'm going to be digging a trench. Because if you've been following a long time, you'll know that the garage through that door there has been completely renovated and converted into a storage room, but I want to actually bring electrics from the house all the way up here into a fuse box in there. Not only that, but I want to bring up comms, so like an Ethernet, or I think I'll be using Cat 6, which is a cable for connecting to the internet, as well as water, so we can have a tap up here for mainly the caravan, but it's also quite handy to have a tap up here if I need to wash things or just do gardening at this end. Oh, I just saw a really pretty bird fly by. But this is going to change quite a bit, and today we're not going to go look around the house because my nan's in and I don't want to disturb her. We just spent the last couple of hours talking to her, but I need to assess what I intend or what my plans are for in here. So if we go in, obviously I've got the garage through there, which is going to probably primarily stay as storage, and potentially my office will go in there. But in this space here, it's quite a large floor space. So this is just a partition wall, like a stud wall. All of this walling is going to come out. I'm probably going to remove this and move the door back so it sits at the front of the building there. So this whole lean-to will change. So this will be one massive open space, because I think it will be better for me to have a workshop in this big open plan area. That it's got like a big concrete pad on it, so it's convenient. It's going to be much easier for me to maintain and fit all my tools in, as well as like long sheets of wood and cutting and stuff. And it's just a really nice space to do it. And then this needs to be repaired because it's all rotting. So I need to probably take this roof down, fix it, and bring the wall a little bit closer in, because as you can see right now, by the cord currently holding up the drainage there, I'm probably going to bring the wall this side so the drain isn't actually inside the building. But fix all of this up and it'll become extra storage for my workshop, as well as potentially gardening stuff, as there are currently a couple of gardening tools here. There are more outer buildings in the garden. It is a very large garden, so we've got lots of room to put things. But this may become extra storage, but I need to fix the roof and take it all down because it's kind of, it's rotting and it's all falling apart, so I need to do some structural work here. So probably in a very soon upcoming vlog, this will be the first thing I tackle, is fixing all of this up and assessing how the walls are, how structural everything is, and if I can move the door and things like that, because we need to start moving and storing stuff down here. We did start organising the garage, but as you can currently see, it's still quite a lot of stuff just everywhere, all over the floor, so it all needs to be tidied up in boxes, as you saw earlier in the vlog, so I can start banging the boxes in here. My thought process for this is that my desk will eventually end up right there, and I might build a little stud wall across here to separate my office space, and then use the front area as storage. And then I'm going to put the new fuse box or consumer unit against that wall there, so the electric will come in here. Everything will be on its own fuse that way, and it's like properly powered, because right now it's just a spurred wire that comes up to the garage and it's not really suitable for it. So that's why we're going to be building a trench, or digging a trench and feeding all the cable down. Fingers crossed, I've got some professional help come in. Hopefully that all works out, because I've never ever driven a digger before, let alone for a garden, which we'll go and walk through now and kind of have a rough idea of where it's going to go. If we take a walk down the garden path, I think Jess wants to turn this into a bit of an allotment, because that's what it used to be. And I always remembered that to be the greenhouse, which is obviously where I was going to bring it and fix the roof. But this needs to tidy up, because it was recently done by my aunt, but it's starting to overgrow again. So we just need to tidy this up a little bit. It's the cleanest area of the garden right now. This is a garden, and that is where the digger needs to go, because I can't bring it up the path because there's just not enough space to do it, and you'll see why later on. But the digger needs to go through there. Now, fortunately, a couple of years ago, they came and fitted new oil in, and that's why the new oil tank at the top, and they did drive a digger through this before, and I'm going to basically follow a similar path, which is why, again, I need professional help, so I don't hit an oil pipe. This is the word I was looking for, sorry. I don't hit an oil pipe and create damage, which is not what I'm looking to do, obviously. I just want to run new stuff up to the top of the path. So we've got a little outlet building here, we've got a shed there. Obviously the conservatory that we did on a very quick budget and turnaround that is currently still standing, thankfully. There is a coal shed there, and then there is another outbuilding here. An absolute beautiful garden that my nan has been taken care of for many years. I don't foresee us changing pretty much anything with the garden. We're obviously, as I said in the previous update vlog, I'm going to basically clean it up and keep on top of it, potentially look at getting a gardener, because of the garden is just so big, and maintain what's already there and complement what my nan's been doing for many years. If you follow this path up here, it's actually the reason why I can't run the cable or the trench up this path, because there's just so much work here that I'd do more damage than good, I think. So follow this pathway through the garden. We've got our beautiful apple tree, and then this is exactly where the trench is going to go. So when the digger came last time, they actually trenched through this pathway. You can kind of see where it's been walked on, and it goes through this gate here and through the garden. And if I hop over this fence, you can see where I've already kind of trodden over all the nettles. The idea is to bring a trench from down there all the way through here and that way. Before we get the digger, I need to come down with some gardening tools and clear a path for the digger to go. We're obviously getting a mini digger. It's not going to be a really big thing, but a path was already forged before, and we believe it went that way. So I need to get my hedge trimmers and trim all this back. Unfortunately, there is a tree with a fallen branch. You can actually see a really thick branch there, and it kind of goes all the way across, and it's in the way. So I need to chainsaw that, move all that out of the way, and just tidy this garden up. Fingers crossed a digger can get through all of this perfectly fine. As I say, I am going to clear a path before we get the digger, but if you kind of look down, you can see a rough path where it did it a couple of years ago, but obviously over the last 2 years things have grown and it started to overgrow again. The corner of our garden is right there, as you can kind of see by the fence that is right there, and then there you can actually see the paddock, and that is the hedge line that I was talking about earlier. So the paddock goes all the way back there. I can't remember how far it goes. I want to say there's a post right there in the middle that you can see just there. I think that post signifies where the end of the paddock is. You have to remember, I grew up here, and it was many years ago that I used to wander around and play in the garden and things, and obviously it's grown up, it's overgrown quite a bit since then. So, oh boy, there was a lot of nettles to shift, and I hate nettles. I don't think I'll ever get over how beautiful it is here though. The woods was like my playground growing up. Used to be like a running joke when I was at school about being Mowgli, always playing in the woods. But the fact that you can kind of go for miles, it's so dense now. Oh dear, not quite sure what was under all that, but it looks like plastic that is no longer. But as I say, and I said many times, my whole family grew up here and building dens, tree houses, all this fun stuff. It's such an amazing place to grow up, and the garden itself is so big that as a child, the garden feels massive, let alone the woods. So as you get older, you can explore the woods. A bit hesitant about letting Benjamin out in the woods for a few years yet, because growing up, we always had siblings and other family members that are a similar age. Like my uncle is only 2 years. Oh, I just stung my leg. Oh. My uncle's only 2 years older than me. So when we used to go out in the woods, it's one of those, if one of you hurts yourself, there's always the other one with you. Whereas Benjamin doesn't have any siblings that are a similar age to him. So yeah, if he gets lost in the woods or he hurts himself, there's no one to really tell. On the plus side, with technology nowadays, we'll have him on like an Apple tag or something, so we can always see where he is. Fortunately for us, just beyond the trees that way, there is a 5G tower, which is what my plan is for internet right now. As this will be the central hub for all of those things, let's actually get a drone out and take a look. Well, there you go. It's not actually that far away. So fingers crossed. The idea is I'm going to get mobile broadband at the garage, because I believe at the house, for whatever reason, whether it's tree coverage or just a line of sight, it doesn't quite get the 5G there. So if I put the mobile broadband in the garage, we should be good. The mast is really not that far away. I would walk to it, but it's overgrown. But I think on that note, I'll probably wrap up today's vlog. I know it's a bit of a rambling vlog of me just sharing what's going on and a bit of a tour, but the vlogs are going to be like this for the next couple of months while I figure out what to do for content. As I say, I do need to sort the garage and the lean-to for the garage out so we can start bringing our stuff down and storing it here. We've already started bringing boxes, so every time we come down here we can start putting stuff away and slowly moving over, so move day isn't that daunting. I can't wait to share this place because it's honestly so amazing. Like, I know the woods by the back of my hands because I grew up here and you just never forget where things are. And I can't wait to make tree houses for Benjamin. I can actually create a zip line that goes from that tree all the way into the garden. Just the ability to do random fun things and bring this place back to life is like a dream come true. And I can't wait to share that with you. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be camping here for a good couple of weeks before we actually move in, which is a little daunting. It's going to be a bit odd to get the tent box back out and sleep here, but hopefully I won't be alone. Maybe we'll get some friends down and come and stay with me who fancy helping out with the great renovation and garden overhaul. Well, I say overhaul, I'm not going to change the garden, but yeah, there is quite a lot to do, so buckle in. It's going to be a bit of a stressful time ahead. Fortunately, because this is our forever home, we don't need to move again. We can take our time. I can share everything, and you'll see over the years, if you stick with me for that long, you'll get to see how this place transforms. Just remember how it looks now. I'm going to go around, probably when my nan moves out, I'll probably go around and I'll film everything, how it was when we first moved in, and then we can always look back in the future and remember and see how things change. And it's always nice to remember those kind of things. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave it a thumbs up right now. I'd appreciate that. If you're new around here, hit subscribe. As always, it's been Orion, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, much love. Bye-bye.